Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez addresses the Billy Joe Saunders stoppage. He stated when he hit Billy Joe with that right uppercut, he knew he had broke that orbital bone, or he felt very much so that he broke it. In fact, when he landed it and he went back to his corner, him and Eddie Reynoso, he told Eddie that, hey, he's not going to come out for this round. He knew the damage had been done, and he stated in the press conference that, indeed, when you break your cheekbone, that's a very dangerous, damaged injury, and it could cost you your life. And I didn't think he was going to continue, on top of the punches that I landed after I landed that right uppercut to that eye bone. So he didn't think he was going to continue. Canelo went on to say that he thought Billy Joe Saunders, he couldn't fight without him. I mean, he was the other champion in the equation. This was one of the easier fights to make. You know, the Caleb Plant fight will be kind of rather difficult because it involves another network. But, you know, he thinks he's a good champion. He gave him all the respect, you know, and moving on, you know, and wished him all the best. But as you can see Canelo's face, Canelo looked like he took some friendly ones, so he wasn't in a one-sided fight. That's what made this fight so dynamic, because of the style of Billy Joe and what Billy Joe was able to do. Now, Canelo, to talk about his improvement, okay, I want to talk about that briefly. Canelo Alvarez has learned not to waste too many shots, especially dealing with a slick southpaw. Because if you notice with the Lara fight, he was missing a lot, and he was missing a lot bad. But a lot of those punches were up north, okay? Canelo, I think he's learned to, and when you're going to wind up big shots, let's at least target them for the body. So if you don't hit the body flush like you want to, you can hit the elbows, you can hit the forearms, you can hit the shoulders. You know, Roy Jones Jr. gave us a classic demonstration on how you target a body or a part of someone's body and make them quit, like he did Eric Harding, because he kept jabbing to that right arm of the southpaw Eric Harding, and pretty soon it was dislocated. Okay, it was kind of similar to Caleb Smith, but Caleb Smith didn't quit, okay, like Eric Harding did. But that's just an example on how you can use bone-crushing power to inflict damage to someone's midsection. Okay, so again, a lot of those punches he hit Billy Joe with, were they flush? No, but he knew they wouldn't look as bad, and they would look impactful when they did land, wherever they would land. Okay, hopefully he didn't catch one on the elbows or something like that, because that can be painful. Oh yeah, I know about that. So he has improved with slick southpaws. Okay, Billy Joe was a mover. Now, was he better than Mayweather or Lara? Okay, well, that's debatable, but it was the same or similar tricky style, being from a southpaw or someone very elusive, you know, and he did a damn good job of adjusting. Okay, but again, it wasn't a lot of shots. It wasn't your Durham fight. It wasn't like fighting someone like Angulo, or it wasn't anything like that. It was these weren't stationary opponents. These guys were moving, or this guy was moving. He was shaking, and Canelo Alvarez handled it great. Okay, so you have to give your hat off to him. And the good thing is, it didn't go to the scorecard, so we wasn't really worried about that. It wasn't up to Canelo if the fight continued to win a decision. So you can't bring that into play, because Canelo got a TKO, because Billy Joe wouldn't get off the stool, right? So it was a very good demonstration of Canelo Alvarez. Now, as far as him fighting Caleb Plant, that's a totally different fight. But again, he's in with a boxer that knows how to bang. It should be exciting. I hope it gets made. I hope it's in December, right? Which, you know, the money up. Caleb Plant would be a fool in May, June, July, August, September. So you have a bulk of 5 months to be prepared for a fight. So you can't use, hey, I don't have enough time, why you didn't let me know, that type of stuff. No, you didn't have that. You don't have that goat or that jacket to wear anymore. So again, I look forward to that fight happening. Canelo Alvarez knew he inflicted damage on Billy Joe, so he was confident that that fight would be over, and in retrospect, it would have been. Think about it. If Billy Joe would have went out there, what type of Billy Joe would you have had? What type of performance would you had? You know, because if you quit on the stool, I mean, what do you think? It's going to be probably worse than how Daniel Dubois, was, took a knee, right? He pulled a Colin Kaepernick, right? He took a knee. He probably would have took a knee or a Kell Brook, right? Because Kell Brook went through the same type of beating when Errol Spence got to him and damaged that other part of that eye, the other part of his skull, right? So, that could have been that case. And on top of that, if you can't see, you can't see. It is what it is, but nonetheless, he did quit. Right? But the thing is, Canelo predicted that he would quit when he hit him, because he knew that punch and he could see. He was closer than anybody else besides the referee that, hey, that eye don't look too good. And in fact, he's not punching anymore. If you notice, Billy Joe didn't punch anymore after that. Okay, and when Billy Joe came in with that right hook, thinking that he was going to make a dynamic score, he got nailed. He got nailed, as you guys know. So it is what it is. I still want to hear what Billy Joe has to say about all this. In the coming next early part of the week, we may have someone that could talk to him. He may be in surgery right now. I don't know. Maybe the eye, they have to, fix that eye as fast as possible, I'm assuming. But anyway, I was just giving you guys an update on what Canelo Alvarez had to say about Billy Joe Saunders and the eye injury. Of course, tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.